Score video based on how to do technology with what we did in class yesterday with the matched pairs and two dependent samples for means or mu. So here we go. Here's the problem we're going to use, and this is the last you'll see of this. So here it goes. The table below lists the heights of U.S. presidents and their main opponents in a presidential campaign. In the presidential campaign, these are five, obviously from a sample of a bunch. Use the data with a 0.05 significance level to test the claim that for the population of heights of presidents and their main opponents, the differences have a mean greater than 0 centimeters. So what that is saying is if the mean is greater than 0 centimeters, that means the presidents tend to be taller than their opponents. That's one of the hardest things you'll do today is figure out, or tomorrow, your ho and ha, to figure out which one is which, not which one is which. Your ho is always going to be the mean of the difference is 0. But the ha, you got to figure out, is it going to be greater than 0 or less than 0 or just not equal to 0? And in this case, because it says the differences have a mean greater than 0, we're going to go with our ha is going to be that the mu is greater than 0. Okay, so the ha is going to be the mu is greater than 0. And that's a big deal. Okay, so obviously we have two methods that we always use. One is our calculator, one is StatCrunch. Let's go StatCrunch first today, just to be, I guess, a little different. There's StatCrunch right there. Okay, what I've already done to make things quick, I've already typed in the presidents and their opponents. And you have to match them up exactly how they come in that table, which I did. All right, then we're going to go to stat. This is very similar to last week because last week we did mu, doing mu's again. So I'm going to T-stats. And look at the bottom word right there, paired, which is what we want. We want them paired. Select column. We want the presidents for sample 1. We want their opponents for sample 2. And I actually typed those in. That's how they got there, obviously. And here's where you got to be careful. When it says hypothesis test, our HO is always going to be equal to 0. Our ha this time is greater than 0. You have those three options each time. Hit compute, and it gives you everything you need. It gives you your t-stat, your test statistic. All it doesn't give you is your critical value to compare your test stat to, but it does give you our p-value. And our p-value is bigger than 0.05, so we would fail to reject the no because the p is too high. Right, and that's where you go with that. One more thing I should have done right there. Let me show you this too. This is pretty neat. I should have checked differences, and if I check that and I hit compute now, I get the same chart, but over here it tells me what all the differences were, that's what we're dealing with, is what are the differences in the matched pairs. That's pretty much what we're studying about. Okay, so one more thing while we're here. We're also going to do confidence intervals with that information. So I'm going to do confidence interval, and this one said 0.05 significance level. So I'm going to use a 90% confidence level to do that one. And so I'm going to change that 0.95 to 0.90, and I'm ready to hit compute. And there's my lower and my upper limit. That would be my confidence interval right there. And 0's in there. And because 0 is in there, again, that means I would fail to reject HO because, our ho was that. That means the difference is 0, and 0's in there, so it could be true. All right, let me show you the calculator real quick, and we'll be done. So StatCrunch is really pretty good. Be honest with you, it's maybe the way to go. Okay, when you go to your calculator, if you hit Stat and Edit, you have to type in your two lists in L1, L2. And again, they have to match. Like the 189 must go with the 170. The 179 goes with the 78. Now, one weird thing about what we're going to do is we're going to actually use L3 to do the differences because what we're studying is the differences. So where it says L3 down here, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to highlight the L3. And right above the number 1, there's a little L1. I'm going to hit second L1 minus second L2. And what that's going to do for me in L3, if I hit enter, it gives me all the differences. All right, so it gives me all the differences right there in L3. So it does all the subtraction for me, which is pretty nice. So now I'm going to go to stat. Now because we're doing the mean of the differences or mu, I'm going to go to test. And I'm doing t-test again. And there's only, I know it's paired, but we're going to do one t-test because all we're testing is the differences, not both sets. We're not doing a two sample test. We're doing just a test of the differences. So hit number 2, and it's going to come up. We're going to do data because we actually typed the data in. It's going to come up like that's going to ask us what our mu was. So it was 0. All right, we're using L3, so I'm going to go second L3. I'm going to come down here. Our HO was greater than 0. Our ha was, sorry. So I'm going to go to calculate, hit calculate, and it comes up with the exact same values I got on StatCrunch, which is exactly what I needed. And because that's all you got to do. And there's all your info. So again, the p-value is there. That one's there. If you want to do the confidence interval, go back to stat, test. And again, we're going 1 t interval, which is number 8. My calculator will stop there. Oop, number 8. Hit enter. And again, same thing, data from L3. Our level was 0.90. Go to calculate, and there's your lower number. Same thing we got on StatCrunch. So either way you want to go. I personally, as much as I love the calculator, and calculator is great if you want to do that, and I may do both, but StatCrunch is really clear on this, so not a bad way to go. But it's up to you which one you like the best. So that's all for today. See you tomorrow. We'll work on some of these things. See you then.